is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation.
Foundation. It's the foundation. Foundation. It's the foundation. Foundation. It's the foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM Radio, Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation. On this absolutely glorious Friday afternoon, if you're in the land of the living, you got to be able to give praise. It is a beautiful day out here. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All those persons celebrating birthdays, continue to be able to do well, stay focused, steadfast, and that sort of commitment that you've made. We just pray that you continue to stay on this path of growth and development. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. I want to thank the sponsors for continuing to be able to sponsor the show. They are none other than Commonwealth Bank, Ron's Electric, Fidelity Bank, Foreign Currency, who brings you Burner Boy, Bonneville Bones, Burger King, Atos Holdings, and Alive. I want to thank all you guys for being able to sponsor the show. You're a good and decent people organizations. Guys, if you want to be able to be a part of that, hit me up, 827-0111. 827-0111, and we can be able to put all those things together for you, something real nice and fancy, so persons can know exactly where you are and what you're going to be doing. Also, I got to give a shout out to my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They are located south on Blue Hill Road South, right down there, number 407. They got everything laid out for you. If you're in the market to pick up yourself, to get yourself your insurance, they can take care of you. If you're a taxi driver or a jitney driver, if you want to be able to go down there, they get in-house financing. So you can be able to do that and still take your sweet thing in the can out this evening. Get your insurance and take it out this evening at the same time. You didn't have to break the bank. Go down there and ask for my good friend Ethric Bowe. He'd be more than happy to assist you. The number's there, 341-1AFS, 341-1AFS. They'd be more than happy to assist you in those areas. Guys, it's an absolutely glorious day. I'm so happy to be in your company today. Make sure you pick up the Guardian newspaper. It's a deal. Hotel union employers finally reach an agreement. You can be able to see that the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union, BHCAWU, is elated to have reached a 5-year industrial agreement with Bahamas Hotel and Restaurant Employees Association. The president, Darren Wood, said yesterday, the agreement brings the end of the years-long back and forth between the two organizations. We are happy because, first and foremost, it's been a long, outstanding issue that has been spanned for at least 2 administrations. That's what he says. And what this does today is bring stability to the industry, and it helps to lift the standards of living for our members. This is information. Guys, make sure you pick up the paper and find out exactly what's what. Christie's in the paper. Christie confident the government efforts will address crime. It's crazy how... Anyway, let's get through the whole thing. So it says, Delavo assures... reduction in crime is coming. They switch from hope to assurance. My God. Blessed assurance. Jesus is mine. This is you can't make this stuff up. It's in the paper. You can be able to see it. Despite Menace's claim, ankle bracelet firm entered pictured under his government. That's absolutely correct. Guys, the line's going to be wide open today. I want you to be able to chime in on any number of social issues that we're having. There are some back and forths with this ankle monitor issue, but I've received information that, you know what? Let's say this. let's say this. I had a good conversation most recently, and I did some work for some people, right? And they want to be able to kind of fortify it. I say, you didn't do anything with it. I think you should be able to do something with it. And they say, okay, Mr. Grant, let's go. I said, now you're going to have to look at the equipment that you have that I purchased for you and all those particular things. Some time has elapsed, and there has been new generations of equipment that has been created to kind of get to where you want. Now, the objective when you're using these things, especially for government, you want to be able to create a back office. Now, what the back office does is that anytime you use the device, it should be able to say who used the device based upon a login, when you use the device, the location you was at when you use the device, so forth and so on. It should give you a printout. Every single time. It should give you a printout every single time about these particular devices that's been used. Now, the issue is that I believe, and I've been inundated with calls. I've received so many calls about this concept from higher ups and from local persons who have worked for that specific company and within the industry. I've received a tremendous amount of calls. And as I continue to be able to kind of find myself to navigate through these rocky shores without being able to put myself in a position where Howard said, I want to be able to say to you, it's very important for us to check our equipment and understand that we have to, if you're going to utilize technology, you're going to have to stay abreast with technology. That's it. The only one technology that I think lies to us not to us because I don't bother with it, lies to you on a consistent basis as it relates to new releases with new releases annually. New releases is your iPhone. They really don't change nothing with that. But other than that, technology far and wide, more specifically, especially when you're introducing this and incorporating it to the government, any government, it's very important that it has information that you can be able to utilize and execute accordingly. When your member of parliament for our jurisdiction stands in the House of Assembly to be able to speak about the anchor monitors, he or she should be confident with very clear understanding that this information that comes from the technocrats is 100% assured. I've received significant information about the 600, there are 600, I think it's 609, 610 anchor monitors that are out right now. And based upon information that I've received, allegedly, there are more than 100 anchor monitors that are absolutely unaccounted for right now. Information that I received as it relates to the posture that our Minister of National Security has taken to rectify this within due time, or there will be penalties, right? The information that I've received from qualified, capable persons with intimate knowledge says that it is absolutely impossible, based upon how far this has already gone, to be able to rectify this. The anchor monitors are not solely here in Nassau. They're throughout the family of islands. And we've received enough information that the stipulations that are baked in to the contract indicates that if we've come to a point, if we've come to a position where we want to be able to separate from your services, all we have to do is give you 30 days. That's it. There's no casual conversation. We don't have to talk about anything. The government of the Bahamas, through the permanent secretary, provides you a letter, which is an official letter, which is the protocol. The permanent secretary sends you the letter indicating that we want to be able to separate from your services. We thank you so very kindly. The government of the Bahamas thanks you for your service that you rendered to both government and the country. However, we've decided to go in a different direction. No explanation needed. They only need 30 days to provide you that information, and you terminate your contract. You know, based upon what we're seeing right now, the question that I have is, let me structure it properly. Let me fix it. Based upon what's coming to the forefront right now, the information causes you to contemplate whether or not there are significant players in this matter that are benefiting from this. And now you look at the newspaper. Despite minister's claim, ankle bracelet firm entered the picture under his administration. Absolutely correct. The question I have is that why did the PLP not take on the posture of stop, review, and cancel? That's it. You're not trying to retain the legacy of the organization that we're not like them. We don't stop, review, and cancel. If this was garbage, hypothetically, if this was garbage, and you've identified these particular things, and based upon the shifting and the positioning of a new chief of police, you've identified an entirely new team to beta test this and make a determination by the plethora of complaints that comes in to determine whether or not this is something that you should use. That, from a proactive standpoint of doing his or her job, the minister at that point, before it unravels into this Tasmanian devil of a hurricane, before it unravels into this position where there is this sort of an octopus spirit where everyone is pointing tentacles at one another, before it unravels into this position, there should have been proactivity within the sector of national security to identify the viability, the strength, and the wherewithal of these segments, especially with the crime wave continuing to be able to rise. Now, I'm not one of these people who call in for Wayne Monroe's resignation because the PLP is not going to fire him. That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. They may shift him and move him, but if he still serves at the pleasure of the Prime Minister and he sits around the table in the cabinet, it doesn't matter his position, his contribution is the same. The Prime Minister has confidence and leans on him, whether it comes to one area or another. His mind and his expertise gave him the opportunity to ascend to this position. He's been recognized by leadership, and we need of your expertise in one area or the other. You may not necessarily be able to help me with renewable energy. You may not be able to help me with agriculture. But when we need of you, I have access to you. He's a cabinet minister. That's not going to change. I think it's an exercise of, it's a nonsensical exercise to ask for his resignation. It shows yourself busy, but not productive in your thinking. This isn't productive at all. So I want to talk about these things today. I want to talk about this with a great sense of transparency, to talk about the sense of growth and development in our country and to see whether or not we're moving in the right direction. Guys, please give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796 on the text line. Let me see if I can get a caller in there. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
A pleasant good morning, Howard. How you doing?
Anton, you first at the gate?
Sorry. Huh?
You first at the gate?
Boy, look, I say, I don't know what else you're going to discuss today, right, Howard?
Mm-hmm.
And I would ask your indulgence if you switch lanes and discuss something else to afford an opportunity to make a comment. If it's of a national nature, that would lure me into commenting. But I wanted to comment on this early on because it's something that I've been withholding. I withhold a lot, Howard, because, I don't, anyway. I withhold.
Because I was a PLP. Come on, tell me. Because I was a PLP and I'm a BTC. Go ahead.
Behave yourself.
Go ahead, I can fight you.
But look here, Howard, what I wanted to say, which is so important, which I've been wanting to say ever since I've opened up the discussion on your show as it relates to monitoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because monitoring is the big weakness.
Mm-hmm.
If we observe the past statistics that was revealed to us by Commissioner Clayton Fernando,
mm-hmm.
And be able to dot the I's and tie in the dots if we're able to make the connections from what he's saying, and we're able to look at what is happening, and we're able to make the connections, then we can see that there's a bigger problem, and that bigger problem is what I am calling for today on the Commissioner of Police and or the Minister of National Security, Honorable William Monroe, to provide the public with the information. For instance, you just stated that in your research or in your communication with some key figure, I imagine, it was revealed to you that 100 ankle monitors are unaccounted for.
Yes.
Okay. What I wanted to say when I made the initial statement, maybe about 2 weeks ago now, on your show, Howard, as it relates to the challenge we're having, is monitoring, and if we can get it under control based on the statistics alone that the Commissioner of Police have revealed, we could reduce murders by perhaps 50%, maybe even 60%, right? And or we can ensure that the persons who are on bail and committing murders are taken out of circulation, either for their own protection or to ensure that they do not commit any further alleged crimes, right? Such as murder, right? Which is the predominant crime that we're discussing, not that there aren't other crimes being committed. What I wanted to add, which I didn't add, is I would like for the Commissioner or the Minister of National Security to tell us specifically the numbers relating to these monitors. How many ankle monitors or bracelets, are there tied to persons on bail for murder, right, or serious crimes? How many are there? How many of these persons specifically have been found to have committed breaches of their conditions and are alleged to have committed further crimes while on bail? Tell us those statistics up to 2024, this current time, and let us know what exactly is going to be done to address the company that is responsible for the successful monitoring. Because Howard, whether we want to say it publicly or not, that company that is responsible for monitoring persons is the biggest problem in this entire conversation, because they have the obligation and the responsibility to inform. And if they are weak in informing, that makes the police weak in responding. When the police is weak in responding because of lack of information, then that allows and gives complete room for the roaming about of criminals or would-be criminals or persons who are on bail, whether it's a second or third or first bail. It gives them room to go about and do as they will. Whenever they desire. That is the connection, Howard. That is the biggest problem. And so if we have the statistics, why is it, Howard, if we have the statistics, which they do have, they haven't either figured out this is the formula that we need to put together to provide it to the Bahamian people, either that or they have deliberately not provided it to us. Whatever it is, Howard, why hasn't a hard and fast decision been made when we know what the reality is in terms of persons who are on bail committing further murders, or persons who are on bail finding themselves breaching their conditions, and as a result finding themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time, and as an end result finding themselves dead. We know these things are on the record. We have the statistics. Why hasn't a hard and fast decision been taken? Why are we as the saying goes, pussyfooting around regarding making a conclusive decision with this monitoring company that is leading to death? Death, Howard. Not suspected death. Death on the record. You understand what I'm saying to you, Howard?
Yes. Now I can say this to you. I can say this to you. To put the information that I've received, this is not the first time that the government of the Bahamas, through the proper protocols, are well aware of some of the issues that have happened based upon their investigations. Their investigations have yielded that this specific company was supposed to be they had some issues. Now, the responsibility of this particular company as a result of any issues with the monitoring device, if you have a monitoring device on, if you have any issues at all, your responsibility is to be able to write information This is it. Document the information and send it to the permanent secretary. Okay? We're finding out that there are issues with the monitors. People are saying that they take it off, they did this, they did that, people took it off, they're tracking. You could identify these people who were supposed to be on the program, and you cannot account for these people. As a result of that, then you were supposed to reach out to this company. The company never responded. This is the information that I've received. The company never responded. Now we have reached this juncture, and we're hearing the figurehead of national security, the figurehead, which is Wayne Monroe in his particular capacity, being able to say that if you don't get yourself together real soon, there are going to be consequences. Sir, they haven't gotten themselves. This is a company whose the inception, they hadn't been in business a year. Come on, talk to me. 1 year, despite their expertise as an individual within law enforcement. When you talk about business, it's administration, it's relationships, it's an understanding of the technology, it's being able to articulate that and present all. They have not been beta tested as a business. And they've been utilized significantly in this particular capacity. It all puts me in a position to beg the question, why? Why? Why did you place such heavy confidence in this because of the figurehead of this particular organization, or because of the assurance and the quality of the product? It cannot be the product. You've already told me that this product is questionable. Let's talk about these things. Some other things I want to be able to talk about also. Please hit me up, guys. The lines are going to be wide open. Let me take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
Foreign Currency brings you the African Giant, live in concert, Burna Boy. Burna Boy performing live. Saturday, February 17, taking place at Clifford Park. Also performing Rich Homie Quan, 38 Afri, Dro Capone, Civelli, and more. Spinning Gate 2024. Get tickets now. This one is a must that you're there.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company. The lines are wide open if you want to be a part of the conversation today. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family of islands. 242-300-5720. Hit me up. 422-4796. And we are at this juncture again. It seems as though we're looking far and wide, to and fro, seeking who will provide us some assurance that we could get back on track. Today in the newspaper, you could be able to see a small story in there. It says that Christie's confident that the government's effort will address crime. I think the government has relentlessly addressed crime, but we are not looking for a mere address. We're looking for application, for work, for transformation. We're looking for realignment. We're looking for rejuvenation. We're looking for an opportunity to be revived as a community. This addressing of crime is not good enough. There must be application from those that sit at the helm of leadership in this country to apply themselves and deal with this. It's just what it is. They're lackluster in their approach for being able to rectify even the smallest iota. Major issues, small business. You could rectify this with a letter. They've addressed also this ankle monitoring. We've seen our Minister of National Security come out and talk about the fact that he's hopeful. We've seen this address, but the address, it lacks the sufficiency. It lacks the substance for us to be able to hold on to. The address is just like the faith and the hope is intangible. We need application, we need strategy, we need approach, we need all literal hands on deck to rectify this issue. If I am not, because I stand in this kind of a posture to be corrected, because I get my information from many sources. And I looked on ZNest this morning. Let me pull it back up. I looked on ZNest this morning. It looked like somebody has been shot this morning. This morning, based upon what I'm seeing come over my phone, I looked at it. It said 17 minutes ago, moments ago, someone has been shot in our country. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm looking around and I'm seeing some stuff in the papers. We're going to be able to shift course just for 2 seconds, because I'm indifferent with what's happening in our society. And I feel like as a participant socially, for those that continue to be able to reap the benefits of living in this geographical location and doing business, international business in this geographical location, you reap significant benefits. You eat of the fat of the land. Many, many, many a man and woman in this country who are not necessarily from here, even those that are from here of a different ilk than those of us that may be from the quote-unquote over-the-hill community. They reap significant benefits and find themselves tucked away in their proverbial cul-de-sacs, secured. And once the sun goes up again, we could come out, reap the benefits of the land, and then retire unto our cul-de-sac again. I won't be decent as I said. I looked in the Tribune newspaper today. I got a call this morning for it, first and foremost. And then I looked in the Tribune newspaper and I read this. $18 million loss as a buyer spooked by crime warnings. This is in the papers today. This is in the Tribune newspaper. And it says, an $18 million home sale in Paradise Island Ocean Club Estates collapsed yesterday as a buyer was spooked by the Bahamas' crime woes, with a realtor warning, we're going to pay for that. This is this is George Damianos. The Damianos, Sotheby's International Realtors president. He told the Tribune Business yesterday that he received an early morning email from a client revealing that they are now not pursuing any real estate deals in the Bahamas due to the perceptions, that this nation is unsafe following the recent U.S. international media report, the early 2024 murder spike. You can read the whole stuff. What's peculiar as I continue to be able to swim through this story, I'm looking for the contrast. You ever hear that? You ever see people who, if they want to kind of levy a constructive criticism or criticism against you, they need to be able to place themselves in neutrality. All right? So we hear this often, right? Especially in this kind of an era and dispensation where we have a bunch of Karens all over the world. You'd hear them say, well, I have one black friend, if they're dealing with the race issue. I'm not prejudiced, I have a black friend. You'd hear Karen say that. Karen is this kind of a figure, this idea of a raging white woman taking on this kind of a posture and position. Even in their discourse, they always say to you and give you this sense that you should be rest assured that this is not race related. Rest assured that this is not anything to do with these things. I believe that there should be neutrality in it. Why? Because I have a black friend. But you need not do this. Okay. So I looked for that contrast in this kind of this speech. I did. And what I needed to hear was, we need to do something with this crime. If not, we're going to pay for it significantly. Of everything that we receive, we identify these particular organizations to always give back to the community. Now, I don't know whether or not we need to amplify. This is what I was looking for in the paper. Because you can't pop your head up when it doesn't look well for you to be able to make your 6% or based upon your negotiation of whatever you've done of this $18 million to go to your coffers, to go to your bottom line for your organization. It cannot only be that this Bahama land that shimmers in the ocean is to ensure that you can get taken care of while we wreak absolute havoc. And we navigate on these shores, on these streets every day with our family. Many of us have to go to those communities and live. And whatever many of us have, we try to give to them. We try to give back with the little that we have to our community and hope to God for change. We are having a conversation in this country that has to do with living wage, a livable wage. We're having a conversation in this country of creating spaces so young men and women could ascend with pride and not this relentless, perpetual subservience that we render to those persons who visit our shores, who, like I said, are from a different ilk, cut from a different cloth entirely, are undergirded financially, and have the wherewithal for business. They come here and they create a space for themselves, like Egyptians. My God, I can't even get no amen. And we are the Israelites. This is proverbial. Relentlessly yielding ourselves, and like I said, we don't even see nothing wrong with this. This has become a part of our blood. But this is one thing that I could never said about Edward St. George and about Jack Haywood. They were intimately involved in the community. There is many a man trapped behind the walls that shimmer in this country. The walls with spackle. It looked good. My God, you put the light on it in the night, it's shining. These are the walls. Many a man in this country that eats of the fat of this land. They stay behind those walls and never contribute anything other than a social conversation of condemnation unto black men who need to stop it because you're messing with my money. That is absolutely bananas to me. When we say all hands on deck, it should not be relegated only to Negroes, to black men. This is a community-wide issue. Your rant, your posture, your position, which is absolutely understandable, is a clear example why we need all hands on deck. To rectify this issue, we need public-private partnership. There needs to be a contribution from those who have it to those who don't have it. Maybe we have human resource. Maybe you have financial resource. If we don't get to the position that we contribute and put everything on the table, all we can see is this in the newspapers. I want to be as decent as possible as I put this before you. I want to be as decent as possible as I put this before you. It cannot be pointing fingers and saying those. That's all I've been seeing from the inception of this crime wave at the beginning of the year. It has always been someone pointing a finger. Whether it's a finger pointed at the judiciary, whether it's a finger pointed at law enforcement, whether it's a finger pointing at legislation, whether it's a finger pointing at the community, whether it's a finger pointing at mothers, at single mothers, whether it's finger pointing at fathers, absentee fathers. Stop the finger pointing. The children breach. They hear. And they wreak an absolute havoc because all this finger pointing continues to segregate and separate them from the community that they want to be a part of. Where are we, ladies and gentlemen? Where are we? I don't need to hear about you miss out on an $18 million play. You miss out on an $18 million play in the first quarter of the year, which was going to look good for you. Good for you. $18 million. Listen, that's good. That's a good chunk of change. And you work hard. You should get it. But you have to know that there is a balance in our society. I say that with humility and the greatest degree of respect. There is a balance in our society. And you will be touched in your pocket, and hopefully not with your lives or not in your homes. But one way or another, everyone's being touched by this. And that is why we need community participation to change this. I want to say that, and I want to be as decent as possible as I do so. I got to do that. It's kind of indifferent. I know that you teeter and maybe you're grinding your teeth. Ooh, ow, Howard. Ooh, we don't touch that, Howard. Ooh, Howard, no. We never do that. But this is a real issue that we're dealing with. It wasn't pig's blood that spilled in the street. This is our brothers and sisters that have made wrong choices, that came up in hard environments, that made wrong decisions, and they're lost to gun violence. And now we've reached that precipice, that juncture, that point where we have to do something. And screaming about a loss doesn't do enough. Let's get together and do something that actually can impact the community. Adopt a school. Get in there. Start having conversations. Start to advocate. Talk to them. Speak to them. Sponsor things like the anti-bullying rally. Talk to them. This is what we do. Rather than being able to come in here at the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter. My God, y'all keep making me lose money, man. This is wild and absolutely bananas. Let's be as decent as possible as we continue to be able to talk about these things. Let me take the second commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, live and full effect right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We out here talking. We're going to have a good conversation. I want you to be able to participate today. Give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. That is on the text line. It says, he's complaining about missing out on money when his race have always had all the wealth. All black Bahamians don't deserve everything. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. It says, and black Bahamians don't deserve anything. I want to be decent as I say this and I talk about these things. This has nothing to do with race. Can I say that? This is for me participation. This is for me neutrality. I think the color that runs rich in the street, the crimson, is the only color that matters at this point. That's it. The blood, which all of us share the same colors. I hope. All of us share the same color blood. That's running rich in the street. And I care nothing about your color wrap around that blood. Whether it's white, black, or yellow, it doesn't matter. My only concern is that I am here. Okay, can I say this? I want to say this to you. I'm alive, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not dead. I'm not one of the cells that didn't make it into my mother's egg. I'm here. I beat out a tremendous amount. My God, if I tell you my story of how I got here to an 18-year-old mother who thought that she made the wrong decision and did everything to right that wrong, and the doctor said, this baby is too big. My God, I can't get no amen. I make you to understand that I'm not here casually. That I wasn't born in a dispensation where we're dealing with slaves. And Harriet Tubman didn't have to convince me that I was a slave. I understood the challenges as I grew in an environment where there was much love. That I didn't even realize that I lacked anything because I had a smile on my face and my belly was full. My family took care of me. But as I grew and I understood that I can't own a piece of this rock, it's difficult. That for me, climbing up within an organization is difficult. That in an environment where people work at the gas station as pump attendants and then call it a career, this is bananas. This is bananas. That transitional jobs, people find themselves in this space for 32 years because of a lack of education. I learned this as I grew up. As I grew and the government said we put more behind education and the curriculum stays the same. It was confusing to me. That in a country at the time with less than 260,000 people as a young man, peppered with leadership, left, right, and center, men and women who have changed their diction, their posture, their position, their speech, their tone, as a result of being able to go off to London and come back here educated, now sitting nestled in the position of leadership in this country, and still did nothing. Nothing. You worked on infrastructure, you built some stuff, a few things came out of the ground, and you continue to be able to jockey for a position to retain power and wealth for yourselves. Many of you, you have let the Bahamas down. And the decency that exists within this country, we smile at you and say, hey, it's good to see you, because we respect the office that you held. But your character, you leave us wanting. Your character, your inconsistencies. And praise God that we in Jesus, because you will never make it into the gate. I just want to be decent with you. I come from a community where after all of this, I still hear. And if I have the position, that's sort of a panoramic view to identify these things, I know that I have to contribute to great. I know that I have to be better. I know that I have to be not only optimistic, but persistent, consistent, determined to be able to see my community change. I'm not only here to make a couple dollars for myself. Yeah, we're not saying that I don't need no money. I got to take it mature. But I'm not going to make myself greedy, relentlessly pursuing monies without understanding that there needs to be contribution to a community. Every single time I jump on this radio, that's my prayer. I pray that the undertone of my delivery is for you to understand that we collectively must contribute to greater. And that's all my posture was. This ain't got nothing to do with white or black, yellow, beige, off green, sunburnt, orange. It don't matter. I don't care what color you are. If you are living here and you are reaping the benefits of the sun, sand, and sea, the exquisite experience that it is to be in the Bahamas, you have the social responsibility, and that doesn't have to be wrapped in a letter of understanding, in a memorandum of understanding, or a letter of intent. That doesn't have to be wrapped in your contractual agreement. That should be wrapped in your philanthropy, in your spirit, man. You cannot live in a house and don't maintain it. It's going to crumble around you. And that's all this is. So don't make this a black and white issue. I don't know this gentleman. I don't. And if he could rise to this president of this kind of a position and be recognized the world over, then he's doing something correct. I am merely saying, let's participate in other ways. That's all I'm saying. Let's participate in other ways. So that's that texter. All right. Says, be real, Howard. You think we'd be in a position if we were still under the UBP? Plus, is it true that the Bahamians had a surplus of monetary resources under the UBP and became swamped in national debt under the Negro rule? Right? Minority rules the economy and the majority rules the voting process. One day, every 5 years, laughing my behind off, a bunch of broke, illiterate clowns voting every 5 years. They need to take away them voting rights because only foreigners make rules and regulations around here. I think this is absolutely garbage what you put here. So I like you. I like your kind of perspective. I like your contribution and whatnot. But this relentless pessimism placed us in a slug's position. Not even a sloth, a slug under a rock. That you can't see that there's some level of positivity, that with the life that we have, that we can contribute to better, that it is our cry and desire to be able to get master back, that we should go back to Egypt and eat onions. That's bananas to me. That's crazy. I'm not going to fight you. I'm simply saying that it cannot be the answer behind. We don't have no eyes behind our head. We are designed to move forward. That is what human beings should do. Move forward. And our mind should retain the memory of yesteryear, the stories of yesteryear, and cause us to make changes to tomorrow. All we do is assess what's happening within the UBP, their conviction, their position, and what you would come to find out is most of those men had money. They were content in their positions. They weren't jockeying for something. They didn't look for a contract. They didn't look for their cousins to be in certain positions to give them a contract so they can give them kickbacks. They didn't look for those things. They weren't eager in anticipation of the next 5 years that are coming out. Oh my God, I better hurry get something for me. Quick. If you assess that, you would realize that. If you assess it, you'll realize it. Let's get back into it when we get back, ladies and gentlemen. Quick commercial break, go to news, and be right back after this.
The foundation.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation here, live and in full effect. I am grateful to be with you. I got a little treat that's going to be coming for you a little later on today. I know we started a little bit heavy to talk about this crime and whatnot. I wanted to talk more specifically about the infractions that exist, right? I got one call. It's cool. Maybe I was ranting too much today. But the truth is that social participation is the only thing that we can be able to count on to get us back to where we're supposed to be. And I am convinced that this is what it is. I'm convinced. So let me read a couple of these texts. It says, hey, Howard, if you think that the Bahamas is dangerous, tell him to go to Gaza Strip and set up there. This is Texas coming through. He says, the problem to this crime rampage is law enforcement, Howard. Regardless of administration, none will allow the police to do the right thing. The fix is an independent commissioner of police. It's the text is coming through. It says none before or present would dare arrest those lawbreakers despite crimes like disclosure breaches. So you know that they could get told to stand down on other issues. Remember, immigration MP stopped the raids. Think that's the only department? You think that's the only department? It's a question mark. It says corruption is a cancer, and we are at stage 4. It's a text is coming through. All right, let's see, read another one. It says, Howard, notice how all the politicians, top rank of the police, media personnel blowing up like balloons, eating all the good food all the days, right? This is what you're saying, right? It says, listen to the deputy commissioner talking mess about they know who the gang leaders are, but won't arrest and charge these guys with the gang act. Sucking my teeth. It's a text is coming through. These dinosaurs really need to take these khaki uniforms off. Mad disrespectful. You need to stop, right? So it says, be real, Howard. Would it be better to have a foreign prime minister, commissioner of police, a judge, police officers who are not involved or have an interest in this country? No, I don't believe so. I don't. I just don't. I don't. I often get upset with, I'm indifferent, with our administrations being able to look off the rock for answers. I'm always perplexed when you look at a consultant from abroad to being able to bring them in. No one. Let me tell you why. When I went to ChatGPT, I went to the ChatGPT, and I'm going to have to take a commercial break because I got someone very special coming on. We're going to talk about that just for a little while. When I went to the ChatGPT conference, the certification course, I was extremely excited. I needed to know exactly what is what, right? I needed to know. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to see what this can do. I was extremely excited about it. So now they give me information that ChatGPT could be able to generate answers and give me information, so forth and so on, once I give it the proper prompts. But everything ChatGPT gave me was vanilla. I just want to say it as decent as possible. It was vanilla. It didn't have reference. So I started to ask about questions of how do we prompt this information to be able to understand certain segments of the world. If I was an Indian, I needed to be able to understand the Indian culture and answer me based upon the history that is associated with this. Doesn't ChatGPT plug into the internet? Oh, no, Howard, it doesn't work like this. I said, so I'm from the Caribbean. Most of these answers are from people from Idaho, Missouri, so forth and so on. Middle America. This is not even the black culture, because I asked specific questions. And it didn't have that. The people who created this, these are the people that are from certain areas. So they give you a part of who they are. They could never tell you about the culture that you come from. They could never give you insight about where you come from. The first thing that any good consultant does when you bring them from afar off is ask for local consultancy. Is ask questions about how does your culture work? How does these things work? If I go to Inagua, as a Bahamian, I have to understand Inaguan culture. I'm always indifferent about this. The answers resides within our shores. The only thing that needs to happen is that leadership provides an opportunity for participation. What is that can happen? You fire these people. That's the worst that can happen. What's the worst? They're not performing. Well, how would you think we're going to take the chat? My God, these people ain't performing right now. Right now, in the capacity and various capacities throughout the length and breadth of leadership in this country, there is non-productivity and non-performance. We are arguing. There is the deputy leader of the Free National Movement is saying to us that he's calling for the resignation of a sitting member of parliament and cabinet minister. To me, it's oxymoronic. It don't even make sense. And based upon the observation, in my mind, will work, obviously, because it's lazy. Just to be able to say, oh, this fella needs to get fired. How is it that I could sit here on the radio, speak to the whole country? Let's be decent. Speak to Nassau and those people who tune in. Let's be decent. I want you to think my head blowing up. Whilst you're speaking to these people, if something pricks in these person's spirit, they find a way to get to me. They give me information, they give me insight, they strengthen me, they say, I like the path that you were going. Did you know this? Did you know that? Have you considered this? Go and read this. Go boom, 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 boom. That happens all the time. It happens all the time. It's never, Howard, you don't make no sense, you're stupid, you're dumb, you ain't making no sense. No, it's always, I like that course that you've taken, it's true, let's go a little bit deeper, this is it. You maybe didn't have access to this information. It's always that. It's always they're providing me information to give you a little bit more. How is it, as a radio talk show host, I can get this information, and members of parliament that are sitting in constituencies that everyone knows that you sit at the helm of leadership in this country, the information doesn't matriculate to you. Either you get it or you care not to use it. This is what I've said to you before. The Freedom of Information Act exists. Not in formality. But if you want, my brother, my sister, you can access that thing. Just get to pepper what you say with allegations. It's allegedly this, and hypothetical, so forth and so on, so you don't find yourself on the wrongs of the prosecution. You get into the court to deliver this information, but my brother, my sister, the information coming to you. How is it you take a lazy approach and say he's fired? How? How is it that with all the information that we have access to, the only thing that you could come up with is the easiest way out? Almost like you're speaking to a lowbrow audience that can't comprehend anything else other than being fired. That's confusing to me. That's confusing. But we go with it, and that's the dumbing down of our society. We've been dumbed down. No one seeks to be able to trouble the water of our educated nation in this country and cause there to be thinkers activated. You just want to go with the rhythm of what's easy. We can do more. We can do more. Space of decency, I want to say that. Let me take a telephone call before I get out of here. Caller on the line, go ahead. Hey.
I like your monologue. The thing is, the whole scenario, political rhetoric, agendas, deeds are all oxymoronic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, I just want to make a chat GDP and et cetera, et cetera. So, given the fact that the texter was mindful of the fact that who was signing for these people in this, like, citizenship or with the situation the gentleman said he's here for 20 years, et cetera, et cetera. So, I would feel better. You know, I'm against technology as being the holy grail savior of mankind, but I think we need an artificial intelligence justice of the peace. It's time to get rid of all of them, Howard. The thing is, what I hate is, right, I agree with your conversation. You know, some people will say, there's a guy called Scrooge the other day and says, I always call him critiquing. Howard, have I ever critiqued you? No, because I agree with what you're saying. Have I ever critiqued Aaron? I agree with what they're saying. So I critique when it's necessary. So what I'm saying is, what you're saying is so true. So I would like for an artificial intelligence justice of the peace, and maybe in some other implementations where we could sit down and think about it. But when I look at the whole chronology, right, and we chronicle this crime, see, you know, it's like you, let's say you watching a jar full up with something, with water, whatever, liquid, right, and then you wait till it overflow to react to it. But this is what other callers and other texters were saying. So this is what we have arrived at now. Now that all the chickens are coming home to roost, we have this finger pointing. But Howard, I'd like to share with you. You know, I love your speeches and the way you think too. You know, see, the thing is, Howard, the finger pointing is really designed by the globalists to have all of the sheep on the plantation pointing the finger at one another. And to the hater, right? I'm a sheep also, but guess what type of sheep I am, Howard? A thinking sheep. Who would be follow the herd mentality, and that's reality. And the problem is with us, Howard, we don't want to have real conversations about how to fix this country. That's the problem. I'll give you a call later, Howard, and you could be a shot. Listen to me, Howard. Some things I can't speak, but I like what Mr. Dello was saying. You know, if you have a crime plan, keep that to yourself, because you don't need to know the plan, because if you have a plan, you understand what I'm saying? Keep the plan to yourself, because the criminals don't need to hear the plan. Right or wrong? Yeah,
no,
but we can talk later. Yeah.
Okay, hit me up. I appreciate your telephone call. This is important that we have these kind of conversations, guys. I mean, I just listen, man. I don't know. I don't know how long I can be here with you, but anywhere I go in this life, oh my God, this could be this. I have the intent. Okay, let me tell you what. You may not believe this. I fight for my conviction. I fight for what I believe in. There has been numerous offers extended to me relentlessly, continuously, to move in one direction or another. And I reject them. There are many a man that listen to me every day that trying to figure me out. I don't ask nobody for nothing. I'm begging you, so forth and so on. If I need a couple dollars, I have my partners who I say, I need some assistance in this area, boom, boom, boom. I don't bother. I don't bother. If Jesus Christ can't give it to me, then I ain't supposed to have it. That's how I think. It's a blessed man. My wife normally says that as a result of her. I don't know how. Oh, you don't want to read the Bible, eh? I said, what you mean, baby? He that find a wife find a good thing and favor with God. I said, okay, praise God for you. You wouldn't have favor if it wasn't for me. I'm like, this is too much. I bless. Whether it's because of her or whether it's because of what God has poured upon me, what he's been calling me to. I give God praise and I fight for my conviction. Many a man goes to Puff Daddy parties. Can I say this? Proverbially. We found out more specifically from Cat Williams what you have to release as a result of going to Puff Daddy parties. If you have a desire to be able to get to a particular number, socially and otherwise, talk to me. And you show up to certain parties, you have to yield something that's attached to you. Amen. Talk to me. Based upon the interview. And so I use that analogy. I've never gone to a Puff Daddy party. Never. I don't care what Lecrae say. You shouldn't be at Puff Daddy parties. I don't care what TD Jakes say. You shouldn't be at Puff Daddy parties. We have heard many a man talk about these particular things. And those parties exist in our society also. Can I say this? Is it okay? Can we talk like this? They give you the allure of what you can get, the dreams that you have. They etch it out before you. This is attainable, my brother. Do this. I fight against instant gratification and the acquisition of the dreams that I've had from a child. Because I believe that if I access these particular things, it should come with no strife. Can I say this to you? It should come with no strife. I should not lay down in the night tossing and turning from what I know goes against the fabric of morality and the conviction of my faith, just to acquire something so you could say, oh, how we're doing good, eh? My God, look at him. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. As a result of this acquisition, many a man, politicians and otherwise, have grabbed hold of this fruit and taken a bite. Their eyes have been opened to something, a different realm entirely that many of us don't even know about right here in this country. And so they've lost the flavor, the salt of social and national participation. They've become zombies. So they only exist in this space. You only could see them. But their substance is no longer, because they have acquired what they had to acquire. And this is why, from a biblical standpoint, it is easier for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than a rich man enter into the kingdom. Biblically, what does that mean? And you take into consideration the humps on a camel for what a camel have to do to be able to navigate to get through the eye of a needle. And a lot of persons think this is an actual needle, but it was a hole in the wall, in the city wall. Let's just be very clear about this. Let's be clear about this. It's not impossible, but it's easier for a camel to get to the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. You know why? Because a rich man's kingdom is here. He or she has acquired all their desires and need nothing to do with faith. They have access because money answereth all things. I fight for my conviction. I fight for my faith. I fight for my belief. I fight for my position. I fight for my country. I fight for my family. And I will give all until my very last breath, because I believe that I was called for something greater than just casual existence. I was born in 8 Mile Rock, the largest constituency in the country. I was born in the heart of that. My mother was pregnant with me in Washington, D.C., and she still come back to Grand Bahama to have me. Why? These are questions that we ask. Let me take this last telephone call before we get out of here. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, what's up? What's up? You back?
Yeah, boy, look, I almost choking you. But hey, you say, I never been a little puff daddy body.
I never been.
Howard.
Talk to me.
Howard.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I listened to you at the outset of the show, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I said to myself, even though I didn't say anything when I called in, because what I wanted to get to was more of a national matter. But the tune, the voice that you were speaking in, you reminded me of Monique. I don't remember Monique's last name. And Cat Williams. I say, how would it be keeping right up with what's going on with these people? Because you sounded exactly like them. And now you are bringing that loop back around and relating it to the Puff Daddy parties, or the alleged Puff Daddy parties, and what you must subject yourself to in order to rise in certain environments, or be able to rise to certain levels in your country, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Correct, Howard?
Amen.
And what I want to say is, you are not far off course, you know, Howard. you are not far off course, my brother.
But you have to know that I know that there is a path.
I'm saying that to you as someone who understands it, right?
Amen.
But who never and will never bend to it, right?
My God, it's peculiar that you have to say bend.
But
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Hold on, man. Like, yeah. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying.
Go ahead. I'm not going to fight you.
Anything I know handle or evil, man. No, man, Howard.
Go ahead.
What I mean is, I will never compromise.
Amen.
Right? Let me put it from that perspective.
Yes.
But there was a time in our country, Howard. There was a time in our country where the salt was very prevalent, right?
Yeah.
Where the salt was recognized. The core was recognized, Howard. Mm-hmm. And you didn't have to do no compromising. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even required of you, Howard, to be acknowledged. Right?
Mm-hmm.
To have opportunities made available to you from the very purse that you have to fund in the first place. Right?
Right.
Not an external purse, your own purse in your country, where opportunities should be abound for you as a citizen. Right? Mm-hmm. There was a time when that was the order of the day in our country, Howard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that is any longer. Personally speaking, I don't think that is any longer, Howard, and it's a crying out shame, to be quite frank. It's a crying out shame because, Howard, look, man, there should be nothing too good for any Bahamian citizen. There should be nothing in our country that any foreigner can attain that the Bahamian first should be granted the opportunity to attain. But that is not the case today, Howard.
Right, I agree with you.
That is not the case. We have turned into a people who we pull our own selves down.
I agree with you.
We fight our own selves and we fight against each other, rising up the ladder.
100%, I agree with you.
I'll make one final point, Howard, if I could.
Go ahead.
Going back to that texter who loves talking this nonsense about the UBP, right? Look, man, Howard, one of the things you didn't say to them was the UBP were the very ones who took the first wealth of our country.
Absolutely.
They have what is
called exchange for flour.
Huh?
In exchange for a sack of flour.
All of the wealth unto themselves in our country.
Yeah.
And on top of taking the wealth, they kept us ignorant by keeping education away from our forefathers and foremothers. Howard, we didn't have access to land, didn't have access to education, and that fool who texts you, because that's a foolish text that they send in. Text you talking nonsense about UBP, man, you got to be out of your mind. Whoever you are, we were undeveloped in our country.
Yeah.
Completely, right across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Talk about light, talk about water, talk about roads, talk about houses. Come on, that person must be insane.
Anton, I want to have a further conversation with you with this. I want to be able to talk more specifically because this is not the first time that we get that. Anton, I got to let you go. Sorry about that. We're going to have a further conversation about this, Anton. I got a surprise coming up for everyone, so I got to be able to change the sort of segue into this thing and prepare ourselves to have a great conversation. Guys, let me take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. 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 The foundation. The foundation.
Hey, y'all having a party? Why you ain't tell me?
You only has come to tote. Who tell you anyway?
Don't worry about that. Rings? From Popeyes?
Yeah, man. Popeyes have 5 flavors of wings. Honey barbecue, ghost pepper, signature hot, sweet and spicy, and roasted garlic parmesan.
Anyway, while I'm here, I might as well try one.
You better head to Popeyes and grab a box.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Creativity is in my blood. From shoes to handbags, fashion lets me express myself and embody Bahamian culture. My name is Aiden Barrow, and I'm the creative director of House of Assembly. Alive's Liberty Prime Plan allows me to focus on my passion and stay connected, whether at home or abroad. Once I've created something new, I can post to social media from anywhere and get instant feedback. Alive has a plan for everyone, and it's created with you in mind. Alive, believe in best.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company. You can hear the bed under there. You know that there's going to be a change going on. Just sort of a transition. This weekend is a big weekend. You got Brian McKnight. You got Karen White. My God. This sounds like baby making season to me. Someone talk to me. This is an exciting thing. I know we started on sort of a high note of national issues, but based upon some modifications, he want to be able to come on and talk to us about some things today. I know you know I'm not your superwoman. My wife sang that to me a few times. I tell her you need to stop. She needs to stop. You are my superwoman, okay? Cook and do the whole thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do this weekend, guys. I hope you got your tickets and getting ready to be able to do that stuff. I'm excited about that. She stepped over to Hot Studio for 2 seconds. She's going to be in there, coming back to be able to talk to us about what they got going on this weekend. Brian McKnight is also going to be in the building. So we're going to find out whether or not Howard gets some tickets. Talk to me. My wife, she's telling me I didn't get my nails done. I ready to go. So we'll see exactly how that goes this weekend, guys. I hope that you get your tickets and whatnot. If you are an 80s baby, late 70s, and you know about this kind of a real R&B music, you know about Karen White. You know all of her songs. You may have, who's Karen White? You know exactly who she is. We got a couple of these things. I can see if the producer can play another one before she gets in here to talk about a few things. So I want you guys to know about that. It's going to be crazy this weekend, and you can be able to pick up your tickets, okay? So they got everything laid out for you guys. They want you to be able to participate and be a part of what they got going on here. I'll let you listen to a few of her songs just before we get out. She's going to be back. This is a Friday, so we got to be able to take our time and talk about this stuff. This is a Friday, right? This is sort of an abrupt thing that we've done, but we got to let you know exactly what's what. Play one or two songs. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. Listen to these songs, then we can come right back after that.
sure that your coffee has its sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy, your toast nightly. All that's missing is your morning kiss that used to greet me. Now you see the juicy sour. It used to be so sweet, and I can't help but to wonder if you're talking about me. We don't talk the way we used to talk. It's hurting so deep. I've got my pride, I will not cry, but it's making me weak. I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human. This girl needs more than occasional hugs as a token of love from you to me. Ooh, baby. I found my way through the rush hour, trying to make it home just for you. I want to make sure that your dinner will be waiting for you. But when you get there, you just tell me you're not hungry at all. You said you'd rather read the paper and you don't want to talk. You like to think that I'm just crazy when I say that you've changed. I'm convinced I know the problem. You don't love me the same. You're just going through the motions and you're not being fair. I've got my pride, I will not cry. Still I can't help but care. I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human. This girl needs more than occasional hugs as a token of love.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me, we're right here. We're waiting on Karen White to be able to come over. She's having a great conversation. The Nassau Cruise Ports presents to you a night of love. I want you to be able to participate in those things. I don't know if they're going to bring any tickets over or any of those particular things in terms of giveaway, but they know they come very, very late at the end of the show. This is something that we normally do at the top of the show, but we want to be able to accommodate them. These are major, major superstars from around the world. We've known their stories, their songs. One of your children probably named Karen right now, or Brian. Y'all need to stop. Brian, right? From Family Guy. Let's just be very clear about these particular things, guys. It is always a wonderful time that we can be able to enjoy ourselves together and get together and kind of break bread in a celebratory mode and go out there. Go to the Nassau Cruise Port tonight. Be able to pick up your tickets. The Nassau Cruise Port, they're going to be doing Night of Love. I think it's going to be tomorrow night. Guys, please participate in these things, and this is a very safe environment, a family-friendly environment. If you want to be able to get out there, you can do so. It is an absolutely wonderful thing to know that we can do that. I know that we can be able to, in the midst of trial and tribulation, in the midst of everything that's happening, we got to be able to find a slither of a smile to be able to put on our brothers and sisters' face, or your sweet thing in the can face. My God. Take them out there and enjoy yourself. Go down there to the Nassau Cruise Port this evening. Pick up your tickets and get yourself prepared to go to the concert. They're going to be doing that tomorrow evening. You want to be there. Brian McKnight is not here. He's going to be touching down. He should be at the airport right now. Brian McKnight, you know Brian McKnight. We love Brian McKnight. And you know Karen White. If you grew up in the 80s and the 90s, you know her, you know these particular things. So you want to be able to participate in these things, right? So they're going to be coming right now to talk about these things in our last few minutes to get over there to talk about these things. It is a wonderful thing to know that we can participate the way that we can. I want to say that to you. Go check out the Nassau Cruise Port website. You can find out more information, or BahamasEtickets.com, BahamasEtickets.com. You can be able to get that, get your tickets and get yourself prepared to be able to participate in these things. I know that it's affordable. I mean, it ain't nothing too high for your sweet thing in the can. Talk to me. It's definitely affordable. You can be able to have a great night out. My wife is, some of her friends have invited her out to be able to go to some things. She says, I'm not going anywhere unless you're taking me. I say, you need to stop, baby. We had enough children. You need to stop, right? So it's a good time to be able to go out there and do some stuff. Participate in this. Guys, as we shift the conversation to talk about these things, I want to thank you for allowing us to be able to do this. We're going to continue next week to have great conversations about national growth and development. On Tuesday of next week, we're going to have a good conversation about firearms and whether or not you should be taking any firearms. Coming into the studio right now is none other than Karen White, being able to come here with us. It is a wonderful thing to be able to... Hey, how you doing? Right here. How you doing?
I'm having a good time.
Listen, you are in the Bahamas. How you loving it?
Man, I love it. The energy is just beautiful. Yeah? The energy, though. Thank you, guys. I'm so glad to be here.
We're really grateful that you're coming. You're coming at the right time to be able to give some positive vibes to our country. We've been going through a little thing, and we're so happy, man. We know that you're going to sing our blues away.
Oh, I sure will. I'm going to take you back in a time when we didn't have to worry about nothing, right? It was just when we were younger, we had this, the big dreams. Just a great time. The 80s, 90s is a great time for music.
So tell me this. Can we expect a baby boom after you leave? You and Brian McKnight?
I know.
You are wilding out. We can expect a baby boom after this.
I know.
I got 4 kids now, so 8 by the end of the year.
Wow.
You're doing too much. This is going to be exciting now. So tell me about when you guys are going to be performing.
We're performing tomorrow night at the Amphitheater. Brian McKnight and Karen White. That's a lit combination.
Isn't it?
First of all, we rhyme, right? And we're getting back to love.
The white and the night.
The white and the night is all... Look, the white and the night is all right. Come on. Hey.
Girl, you need to stop it.
Yes. And y'all need to know, not only are we getting back to love, but we're just getting back to entertainment when it comes to me, because the 90s represent such a great time. It was a video era. Yeah. You just couldn't come out and sing a song. You weren't getting signed by a major. You had to be an entertainer.
Listen.
And I love to bring it. I got my dancers here with with me. I have a recording artist by the name of O'Brien. I don't know if you remember him he was signed to Dawn Cornelius back. He did the Soul Train theme.
Really?
Yeah, so he's going to be singing the Babyface duet with me, Love Saw It. I got him coming, and we're going to bring it. It's like I said, it's nothing like the energy. Like, when I feel like y'all giving it to me, I'm going to definitely give it back to you like tenfold. Y'all going to be like, calm her down. She is just doing too much.
No, but you got to do a lot. We need your love in the city right now. It's time.
Oh, well, you got it.
It's time.
You got it.
And like I said to you, we should have a baby boom by the end of the year. 9 months from now, we're going to be able to do our thing.
Like,
right?
what?
Everybody is primed right now to be able to go out and have a good time. I'm going to bring my wife out. And
good, wifey, yes.
Once she bat her eyes, that's it. We got to leave early.
Oh, can I stay with you, baby? Just give me one night of love. Look, we're going to take you through all the emotions. That's the beautiful part. You know, Brian's catalog and my catalog. And it's so funny because today the music, they don't really talk about love too much.
No.
So I love the title. I was like, they said get back to love. So it's really beautiful because he's, Brian's catalog and mine is dealing with all the facets of love. And so we're going to have a good time out there in your all white with Karen White.
So everybody all white.
Yeah, Brian, look. I'm like, y'all got me wearing all white. I normally always wear all black, but it's okay. No, black and white. But I'll be in all white, and I'm so excited. I love you guys. I miss you. Yeah. And I'm celebrating my 35th year from my first album, Karen White, which had
35 years.
35th, yeah.
That's exciting.
Can you believe that?
I can't.
I don't even feel like I'm probably 35. I'm like,
no, but you look like you're 30.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah. Look, my energy is that.
Let's keep doing this, right?
Yeah, that's just keep. You know how it is. But look, y'all. And the funny part is that y'all don't want stars to age. When you see people, like, oh, she looks old. Like, she is older.
I think it's.
You know what I mean?
I want to talk to you about this. I've been listening a few podcasts. I think Tank has a podcast. They started to talk about
Tank.
this kind of an idea about the revival of R&B.
Yes.
And how things have shifted like that. Mm-hmm. But for us who've been born in the 80s, who've been listening
it
to
never left.
It never left.
It never left.
And it seems like the music that we listened to from then hasn't aged.
No.
Right? It's still fresh.
Yes.
And now we see a lot of younger artists being able to manipulate. And I guess my father could say the same thing. They've taken samples and kind of put it into their music now. So my son said, Daddy, you ever heard this? I'm like, listen, here's the original.
Exactly. Here's the original. And that's how we were too, I guess, growing up in the Motown era. I'm not sure what your age. You're probably a lot younger than me, but that's how
I'm also
I feel.
35. No,
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like that music to me, like I said, the Motown era was just some of the best music. You can't get around the, Gladys, Diana, Marv, and the Temps. You know what I mean? But I love that we were able to have great songs.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about like, what did she say? Because now the music, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love hip hop, but I feel like I don't really, the subject matters. It's really more of a vibe, more so. Like, I think the young folks are about that vibe versus like, what is she saying? And when we, and I love Prince, he's probably one of my favorite artists, just talking about the lyrics were very important.
It's an amazing thing. You know what? I had this girlfriend in the 9th grade. I wanted her to be my girlfriend.
Oh, you wanted it.
I liked this girl so bad. And I took a note from Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
So I would play Boyz II Men. You had it on your
Which
beeper,
song?
Right? Oh, God, I remember the song. My wife would kill me.
Probably it was one of my ex-husband, what he did on Bended Knee.
Yes.
Was it Bended? Yeah, because Terry is a great writer. Yeah.
He wrote that?
Yes, him and Jimmy Jam. Yeah, so that's why I figured you were talking about on Bended Knee, because he's a great.
But you played in the background, you let it play on your beeper, and this was the language of an era.
Yes.
These are the songs of an era that taught you chivalry, that taught you relationship.
There you go. Speak on it, brother.
Talk to me, I get preachy. When
you're talking that chivalry, that's definitely Terry Lewis. Yeah, and Jimmy Jam.
But the music is kind of deviated from it.
Oh, yeah, there ain't no chivalry no more. Yeah, it's like, I don't even know if we like women.
This is a lot.
Yeah, and the women are like, okay, buy me. You know, this is what love means.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've lost a lot of that get back to love. So that's why it's important. Bring your kids, bring your teenagers.
Everyone. It's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
Yeah.
And because we're getting back to all of it. Just that great era of music and time. And I'm so excited. The Bahamas is ready for us, and we are ready for you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's none other than Karen White here with us in the Bahamas. Bring you all white to the amphitheater. Be a part of it, man. It's a wonderful thing. Lyricism got to be able to come back. So when's the new album coming out?
We got some products out, not products. Why would I say products? I have some material out right now. So if you stream, go to KarenWhite.me. That's my website, because music has changed. So I have a movie that's coming out worldwide in April, spring. I don't know if it's April, but April or May. It's called Gale in the Storm. I have a soundtrack from that. And then I also have an album called Carpe Diem, Seize the Day. So it's got some great music. I have some great songwriters, people that have written number ones for Joe and Kim. So it's some good R&B. And
really?
Yeah. So
it
check
never
out.
Leaves you, hey. It never leaves you the desire to be able to speak into the people's lives. It never leaves you.
Yeah, and shout out to Usher, for the Super Bowl, the Usher Bowl going down tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, none other than Karen White. Check her out at KarenWhite.me. You'll be able to find out her new stuff. She got great material coming out there. You know all about her. She is not your superwoman, right? Maybe we modify these. I am your superwoman. I want to thank and shouts out to all the beautiful women out there who are taking on this great role and being able to participate in family. This is important that your songs be able to bring people together like this.
Yes. Shout out to my sisters out there. And let me tell you, we are beautiful. We are resilient. We are loving. We are super women. And
That's
this is
a great mantra. They should say it every day.
And I love the fact that I get to be called the superwoman. I'm like, wow, it makes me feel powerful.
It is.
Yeah, so come on out, ladies. Let me love on you. Let's have a good time that we will never forget. And I'm going to prepare you guys for the headliner for Brian McKnight. So I can't wait to see you.
You have truly been a staple in, I want to say this, the Black community, in the R&B community, in a lot of our mothers' lives, especially the younger generation who understood something. You cleaned up on Saturday morning, you knew these songs.
They was vacuuming, and it's like, these kids, they know it.
Now it's time to be able to meet her in person.
Yeah, meet the original Superwoman.
Come up and check her out tomorrow night at the Amphitheater. You want to be able to get that. I'm sure you can be able to pick up your tickets right there or at BahamasEtickets.com. You can find out more information. It's over at the Nassau Cruise Ports. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than Karen White.
Yay! I love you guys. Can't wait to see you. All right.
Karen, thank you so much for being able to be here with us. And enjoy yourself. Don't be a stranger now. You're a part of
I know. First of all, I can't wait. I'm going to have a little bit because I can't eat too much. On Sunday, we're going to do
some conch salad.
The Bohemian. There you go. Thank you.
You got to have some conch salad.
That's it.
No, it's an aphrodisiac. Subtly, you just get yourself
prepared. Okay. Look, I'm winning Bahamas. We Bohemian now. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Foundation with Howard Grant right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We're going to see you on Monday, God Spirit Life. Enjoy yourself this weekend. Take a sweet thing in the can out to enjoy yourself with Brian McKnight and none other than Karen White being able to do that great things over at the Amphitheater. Thank you so very kindly for that. Thank you so much. It's great to meet you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take this out there. My wife waiting on the picture. Have a beautiful weekend, guys. We see you on Monday, God Square.
So sweet, so gentle. You're all that I want my man to be, and loving you comes so naturally. Oh, baby, I want the love that only you can bring, and I can only separate our feelings and cause you to be insecure with me. Just one heart is all a woman has to give. I only have one heart that feels, and one heart to love with, and one heart of which you can be positive. I only have one heart that feels, and my one heart beats for you. I'll search no more, 'cause you're the only man that I adore. I'll be your the love.